Okay, today we're doing mean, median, mode, range, and IQR. Some of this should be a review from middle school. So, this first word, the mean, does anybody remember the other word for a mean? It is the average, so fill that in on your sheet. The mean is the average of a set of numbers. How do you get an average of a set of numbers? Good, okay? And that's what it says in parentheses. Okay? The median, you know how when you're driving down a road, some roads have medians? It's that concrete barrier in the where? Where is it? In the middle. So the median is the number in the middle. Now, the key is the data has to be in order before you pick the middle number. It has to be in order from least to greatest. Okay? All right? And then the mode is the one that shows up the most. And the way I remember that is MO for mode and MO for most. Okay? So mode is the one that shows up the most. Okay? All right. So let's first find the mean of this set of numbers. So I need to add them all up. I need to add them all up and divide by the total. So in your calculator, you're going to do 8 plus 5 plus 12 plus 9 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 14 plus 10 plus 8 plus 2. You're adding them all up. You added them all up, you got what, 84? And then you divide it by 11 because there's 11 numbers here, and you got 7.6 for the mean. Okay? Well, these aren't test scores. It's just a set of numbers. Okay. All right. Median. Okay. What is the median number? The one in the middle. Now, before we can pick the middle number, what do they have to be? In order. So we need to write them down here in order, or you can write them on the side of your paper. So what's this first one that comes? 2. All right. Then what's the next? 5. And how many are there? So I need to do 5, 5, and 5. Then 6 comes next. Okay. Okay. All right. After I put them in order, I'm going to slash them from the end. So after you put them in order, you're going to slash 1 here and 1 there. You're going to take 1 from each end. And then 1 from each end, 1 from each end, 1 from each end, 1 from each end. What number's left in the middle? So that is your median. So the median is 8. The median is 8. Okay. All right. And the last thing it says to do is find the mode. What is the mode? What's the definition of mode? The one that shows up the most. The one that shows up the most. Which one of these numbers is written on here the most times? 5. Mode is the one written the most, that shows up the most. Okay. All right, any questions on number 1? Okay. All right. Number 2. All right, now we are going to learn how to do something new in our calculator. So we still want to find the median, and mode, but instead of doing it by hand, we're going to use a new feature in the calculator. So on the calculator, go ahead and hit the stat button. Okay, so you're going to hit stat. We've used that before. We're just going to do it a little different today. Stat, and we are going to edit like we normally do. Edit means to put in new information. Okay, Now, if you have anything in here, go ahead and clear it out. Go up to L1, clear, enter. Go over to L2, clear, enter. Clear out anything that's in there. You want it to be completely blank today. Okay, anybody need help clearing their calculator? Okay, we're going to put all of these numbers in L1. We're going to put all of these numbers in L1. So I'm going to put in 29, 31, 67, 67, 69, 70, 71, 72, 75, 77, 78, 80, 83, 85, 87, 90, 90, put it in there twice, 91, 91, 93. Okay. All right, now we're going to hit stat again. We're going to hit stat again. We're doing something new, so look up here, please. We're hitting stat again. We're going over to calc. But this chapter is called statistics, is what this chapter is called. So we're choosing number 1. Enter, 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 until you get a whole list of stuff. Okay, anybody's calculator not working? Okay. Right here, you're going to have to memorize this. X with the bar over it is the mean. You're going to have to memorize that. Let's go ahead and write it on your sheet. X with the bar over it is the mean. You're going to have to memorize that. X with the bar over it is the mean. What is the calculator telling you the mean is? Sorry, say it again. Okay. That's fine. Either one's fine. Okay? So that is the mean. Okay? The calculator will do it for you. That's the mean. All right. For the median, you're going to have to scroll down. You're going to have to scroll down. Scroll down. The median is MED. That's the median. Okay? All right. Let me go with, I'm going to write 74.8 since that's what I have up here. Okay. So, and then the median, like I said, you're going to have to scroll down. It's 77.5. Now, the calculator will not do the mode. That's the only thing the calculator will not do. It will not do the mode. So, what's the definition of mode? The one that shows up the most. So, which ones are repeated? So, 67's repeated. Okay, and they're all repeated how many times? Twice. So you actually can have more than one number as the mode. So this one's going to have multiple modes, okay? 67, 90, and 91 are all modes because they're all repeated twice. So those are all the modes. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Number 3, find the mean, median, mode of the following data set. Okay? All right, if we want to use our calculator, Ethan G., what button do we hit first on the calculator? All right, we hit Stat and Edit, and we're going to clear these out. All right, Dylan, where am I going to put those numbers? Good, all in L1. So 21, 23, 23, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right, Chuck, what do I do after I type them all in? Good. And then what? Yep. Good, we want the first one. Okay. All right, Chad, let's talk about the mean first. Which one of those numbers in the calculator is the mean? Good, the X with the bar over it. So we'll say that's 21.3. Okay, so the mean is the very first number that the calculator gives you. Okay. All right, Andrea, how do I find the median? What do I have to do with this screen? Good, go down to MED. So MED is 21. So that's the median. It's 21. And Gracie, what's the mode mean? Like what's the one that shows up the most? So which number shows up the most, Gracie? Good. And there's one other number too, Gracie. Good. So this one again has two modes. So 21 is on there twice and 23 is on there twice. So both of those are the modes. It has two of them. Okay. Questions? Okay. Number 4. A whitewater raft can hold a maximum of 1,000 pounds. What would be the best measure of the people's weight to know if an entire party can go on a whitewater trip? Okay. So what's happening in this word problem? What do we want to know? Okay, so Dylan said we want to know everyone's weight added up because we want the raft can only hold a maximum of 1,000 pounds. Okay, if you know the median, what is the median weight? The one in the middle. Does the median weight tell you anything about the heaviest person? No. Okay, it doesn't tell you anything about the smallest or the heaviest. It just tells you about the middle person. What about the mode? What's the mode? Right, so what if you had 3 people who weighed 100 pounds each, okay? But then you had another person who weighed 150, another one who weighed 200, another one who weighed 250, another one who weighed 275. So the mode still doesn't really tell you about how many pounds are the other people, okay? What about the mean? What is the mean? What's the other word for that? Average. How do you get the average? You add them all up. So to get the mean, would you have to know everybody's weight? Yes. So this right here is your best answer. So to get the average, you would have had to add everybody up. When you add everybody up, would you know if you met the weight limit or not? If it's over 1,000, can you all go on the raft? If it's over 1,000? No, you'd have to split. You'd have to split into 2 rafts. All right, number 5. If you were going to open a lemonade stand on your street, what would be the best measure of data to use? It should say when choosing, I have a typo on there, when choosing what brand of lemonade to sell. What kind of lemonade am I going to want to sell? What kind of lemonade am I going to want to sell? What brand am I going to want to sell? Guys, the brand of lemonade that I'm going to want to sell is the one that people want, which is going to be the one that's most popular, okay? So which one of these numbers or words down here tells me the one that's going to show up the most? The mode, okay? The mode, okay? That would be the one that's most popular, okay? All right, number 6. A dot plot below shows the age of students who are on the debate team. What is the median age for students on the debate team? Daniel, what's the key word? Median. And what does that mean, Daniel? The one in the middle. Okay. Haley, what do we always have to double check before we find the one in the middle? That they're in order. So guys, look, are these in order? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18? They're already in order. So now we're ready to slash. You slash one from this end and one from that end. Go ahead and do it with me, please. One from this end, one from that end, one from this end, one from this end. Okay? So you're moving, and then one from here. You still got ones on that far side. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Okay, now I'm left with these two columns. I'm going to go between 16 and 17. Okay. All right, where are my dots left? At 17. So my median is C17. All right. The last two definitions that you have learned today, the range is the maximum minus the minimum. Maximum minus the minimum. What's another word for the maximum number? Good. The biggest? Nope, not the mode. Mode is the one that shows up the most often. Okay, biggest, what's another word for minimum? Smallest. So it's the biggest number minus the smallest number. Okay, so that's another thing you're going to have to learn today. The interquartile range sounds big and scary. It's not. It's the third quartile minus the first quartile, which the calculator will give you what that means, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So the range is the maximum minus the minimum. So a range is, like how spread it is. So you take the highest minus the smallest. The interquartile range is like the middle piece of it. Third quartile minus Q1. Okay. All right, so let's do an actual example with this. Donald priced 6 personal compact disc players. The prices are shown below, 21, 23, 21, 39, 25, 31. What are the range and IQR? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these numbers in our calculator. No, in the calculator, the order doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to Stat, Edit. That's a good question. In the calculator, the order doesn't matter. That's the really nice thing about using the calculator on these problems, is the order doesn't matter, because otherwise it would. I'll get there. 21, 23. Remember, you don't have to put in 0.00. The calculator doesn't care that there's zeros back there. 39, 25, 31. Okay. All right, we got them in. All right, stat, calc. Is there one after 31? No. Okay. All right, we're still doing statistics. Enter, enter, enter. Okay. All right, before we look at the calculator, let's talk about this word range. What did we say the formula for range was? Good. Maximum minus the minimum. So in the calculator, if you will scroll down, the maximum is MAX. That's the maximum. So what's it giving you as the maximum? 39. And the minimum is MIN. So what's the minimum? 21. So it's 39 minus 21. Okay? What's 39 minus 21? 18. Okay? If you wanted to use your calculator for that, you could type it in right here, 39 minus 21. The only thing is, if you used your calculator, you would have to hit stat again, go back to calc to get your other numbers back for the next part. Okay, so just know how to do that. Okay, this IQR stands for interquartile range. What did I say that was? What did I say the IQR was? Q3 minus Q1. Okay. All right, so on your calculator, if you scroll down, it gives you Q3. That's the third quartile. I'll talk about what that really means tomorrow, but for now, just know how to get the numbers. So it's 31. What is Q1? 21. So 31 minus 21 is 10. Okay. On your formula sheets, down at the bottom for statistics, it gives you the definitions of all those things we're talking about today. Okay, so your formula sheet would be helpful to use on your homework tonight. All right, find the range in IQR of this set. I think this is our last one, isn't it? Okay. Ethan H., what should I do first on this problem? Good. Where am I putting it in the calculator? Yep. All right. Andrea, what's the formula for range? And Chuck, what numbers do you have for the maximum and the minimum? Okay, so I have to subtract those. What's 8 minus 1, guys? 7. So the range is 7. All right, and we're going to do the IQR. Dylan, what's the formula for IQR? Haley, what do you have for Q3 and Q1? Ethan G, what is 6.5 minus 2.5? Good. 4. Okay. All right, any questions on those? All right. Oyos.